Your four favorites are The Doom Generation, Mulholland Drive, Anora, and Lost in Translation. Right off the bat, I think you'd like True Romance. Like Anora, it depicts a sex worker entering a romantic relationship with one of her clients, and they end up on the run like the characters in The Doom Generation. Speaking of people on the run, the characters in Wild at Heart also end up on the run, and like Mulholland Drive, it was directed by David Lynch. And like Anora, one of the characters has a domineering mother who forbids their relationship. While I'm on the topic of David Lynch, I probably sound like a broken record always recommending Lost Highway, but I really think this movie is the perfect companion to Mulholland Drive. Plus, this movie and The Doom Generation both have Nine Inch Nails on their soundtracks. Speaking of The Doom Generation, a few movies that Gregg Araki cited as influences that you didn't have marked as watched are Bonnie and Clyde, They Live by Night, Something Wild, and Bringing Up Baby. Honestly, I scratched my head a bit when I saw him mention Bringing Up Baby in an interview about The Doom Generation, but I'm going to recommend it to you not just because Gregg Araki cited it as an influence, but because I think it's one of the best screwball comedies, and a lot of people said Anora feels like a screwball comedy. But another screwball comedy I think you'd like since you like Anora is The Lady Eve. Some other movies I think you'd like since you're a fan of The Doom Generation are Smithereens, Female Trouble, Spring Breakers, The Rules of Attraction, and Kids. My go-to recommendation for people with Mulholland Drive in their favorites besides Lost Highway is Persona. People keep saying Anora is like Pretty Woman meets Uncut Gems, and you've already seen Pretty Woman, but you didn't have Uncut Gems marked as watch, and I agree with the comparison. But Sean Baker cited Knights of Cabiria as an influence, and I think that's the closest you're going to get to Anora. Another fantastic Sean Baker film about sex workers that I think you should check out is Starlet, but some other films about sex workers that I think you might like are Working Girls, Zola, and Hustlers. Sofia Coppola drew some inspiration from In the Mood for Love when she made Lost in Translation. You already saw a lot of my go-to recommendations for Lost in Translation, but I think you might enjoy Columbus.